video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
We about to give him something new, Mike. Yeah. 3X. Y'all ready? Whether flaming a mic or flaming a blunt, he gon' keep it a bean and say what he want. He was the first one doing his hair, and y'all stealing. We only gon' give you the truth like Ron Killings. Yeah, guard feelings cause they might get hurt. Got a hold on his game, H fighting Kurt. 16 years strong, even doing this thing well. While these other dudes losing their edge like Gangrel. Look, find a seat while I ride the beat. When it come to podcasts, he's the tribal chief. I'm talking Major, the Genesis, Sega, and anything we still wondering about. That's why we got Michaela. As long as he here, you other dudes might shine. The only brother that can outdo the pipe bomb icon. Do it for the people like The Rock. Welcome to the show, introducing Mike Knoxxx. Yeah. Let's go.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Mike Knoxxx Show. I am your host, Mike Knoxxx, and indeed it is a pleasure to be here with you guys today. Thank you guys for always tuning in, locking in, and checking out your boy, Mike Knoxxx. It is a pleasure to always be here before you, talking professional wrestling, as this is the show I deem where Barbershop talk meets radio, the show the pros listen to, and where this is the show for the intelligent wrestling fan. And over the years, I've tried my best to incentivize you, to make you a little bit more intelligent than the average wrestling fan. Some of it sticks, some of it doesn't. You know, some of y'all still make spaghetti that way, right? Let's throw it against the wall. If it sticks, it's not done. But if it bounces, we're good to go. If you're still making spaghetti like that, it's okay. It's a proven method. But let's evolve, shall we, people? And evolving is what I want to do today. And in doing that today, most importantly, evolving into a way that as wrestling fans, can we finally get out of this bullshit that we're in? And I ask you the question, as I ask all the time, has wrestling fans gone too far? That's the question I'm going to ask you today, right? Have wrestling fans forgotten how it is and what it means to be a fan? You motherfuckers follow them to their hotel rooms. You fucking desperate freaks who don't get no sex, wait for them at their airports. You make fun of them in the ring as if your ass can do anything the fuck that they do. And all just for what? A couple of likes because your daddy didn't like your mama, or your mama didn't like your daddy, or most importantly, that friend named Johnny told you he was your boy, but he went and told Susie you had a little penis. I get if you don't understand how it means to have a friend, but let's tell a friend to tell a friend that right now you're tuned in to the Mike Knoxxx Show. And here on the Mike Knoxxx Show today, we're going to talk the king and queen of the ring. Yo, Vaughn, you see my motherfucking hat? I know you see my motherfucking hat because I have a king of the ring hat. This hat before they even brought back the king of the ring, just FYI. If you guys don't know, go to the clearance section of WWEshop.com. You find a lot of good gems over there. So I do want to talk about today's king of the ring. And most importantly, we're down to the final four, if you will, right? We're down to the final four. And in that final four, we put it on our screen right here. We don't have it right here, but we got, I have the correct one. I just feel like changing it. We have, in our one-on-one match tonight, we got Dominic Mysterio taking on Oba, the ruler of the world semi. And we got in the female bracket, well, today also, let me go back to that bracket. Go back, guys, if you can. Also, on the other side of that bracket, we have Javon Evans, the young bull, the YN we refer to him as, taking on Jay Main Event Uso. That's your final four for the king of the ring. And then on the ladies' side, we got Liv Morgan taking on Charlotte Flair. Well, y'all thought just because my voice and I had been sick and all that I wouldn't be able to play this.
Charlotte Flair is the greatest women's wrestler of all time.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Yeah, I'm still not telling lies. Taking on the other side, Io Sky and Michelle Rodriguez, Big Mommy Cool. And all signs point to it being Big Mommy Cool taking on Liv Morgan. But what's the part that we are not convinced about, what we are not sure about is that does Obafemi lose tonight against Dominic Mysterio? That is the question that we must ask ourselves. Is Dominic Mysterio prepared, or is the WWE prepared to have who wins this match? So we kind of want to talk about that, if you will, a little bit here on the show today. Before we're going to have fans forgotten each other, and just real fast, because so I have it here. I said before, I don't think you should have Oba Femi in this tournament if Oba Femi is not prepared to win this tournament. So I want to stick with that. However, I also would like to suspend judgment, if you will, for storyline purposes of professional wrestling. And what we've learned in professional wrestling is that anything is possible. Kevin Garnett told you that when the Celtics won the championship. Y'all remember that? Kevin Garnett? Oh, right. So I will stay and I will go with the mantra of, I think Dominic Mysterio wins and I think Jey Uso wins, because I think there's a storyline bigger on the bloodline side of things to have Jey Uso go on and that whole thing and how that turns out. Now, I'm not saying Jey Uso wins the tournament necessarily, and maybe I'm even wrong with, Oba getting to the finals, but then Jey. I just think this is a big story for the bloodline to tap in on, and I think that's where this goes. I mean, everything in wrestling, guys, if you haven't realized this now, is hashtag wrestling is storytelling, right? So and telling those stories and then watching those stories, you need to be aware of certain things. Like on the women's side, I got it pegged as Michelle Rodriguez taking on Liv Morgan. That's just how I see it going. It makes no other sense to me but to go that route. The men's side, a little bit more murky, if you will. But I'm going to go with Jey Uso winning that as well. And just honestly, I got to say this, because was sick last week. So tonight on Raw, we do get that match between Oba and Dominic Mysterio. We do get the match for the Queen of the Ring tournament between Io Sky taking on Raquel Rodriguez. We know Roman's in the building, although he is still my tribal chief. And yes, I have a pair of bloodline shoes, but you showed up last night at that bullshit at the White House. And so I'm not putting no ones up today for you. Right now, I'm putting down the thumb for you. But hey, your political beliefs are your political beliefs, and I will let that stay there. This is not a political show. However, I will indulge myself in saying that on the other side, I do see he is there tonight. And as well as we do have Chad Gable, who they're trying to sink this redemption story with him, right? Can this finally be the Chad Gable we've all been waiting and willing to look at and see? And they put him over. He takes on Rusev tonight. As well as Charlotte Flair takes on Roxanne Perez, which I guess they're just putting them on Raw right now because that's what they're doing. That match has no implications of the Queen of the Ring tournament winner as we get ready for the end of the month for the Queen and the King of the Ring tournament as that takes place. But those are my winners. That's Raw tonight and what we're going to have. So a little earlier than normal, if you will. What's going on, Jeffrey? Thumbs down for the White House UFC as well. I forgot it was even on. I went to bed last night watching The Sopranos. Somebody gonna say, well, you're watching The Sopranos? Aren't they racist? Yeah, well, I know they're racist. You know what I'm saying? They're the mob, right? So you know what you get when you're watching what you're getting, so you know what you're watching. And what I got when I watch it is I expect them to be that way. I don't expect, I'm glad that his cousin, the real tribal chief, didn't show up last night and turned them down. Certain things I think you should stay away from. I'm going to use the words of 50 Cent. I don't deal with politics because no matter what side I'm on, I'm going to piss somebody off. So I just rather keep my mouth shut, and I'm scared of politics. So I'll leave that there. And thank you, Jeffrey. I love my head as well. Appreciate you. So today, a little earlier than normal, I am going to bring in King Vaughn for This Week in Wrestling History. I got something I want to try to fix on the other side. He's going to be for you for about 3 minutes, and I'll be right back. And we're going to talk about this conversation that I want to have. Has wrestling fans gone too damn far? We'll be right back, y'all. The Mike Knoxxx Show.
Yo, 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 it's crime time.
EST.
Soul Man, Rocky Johnson,
It's the Honky Tonk Man.
NWO. Can you smell what The Rock is cooking? The Mike Knoxxx Show, that's 3 X's because he's hardcore. Present This Week in Wrestling History with King Vaughn.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's King Vaughn Jr. of the Victorious Ones podcast and Perfect Plex Talk Radio here to give you the week in wrestling history. Of course, on June 16, 2013, WWE Payback was held at the Allstate Arena in Illinois in front of 14,623 fans. And so of course, the main, the main matches, the main ones They were really, the most important ones were the CM Punk defeated Chris Jericho by pinfall after hitting him with the GTS twice in a row. The Shield defeated Team Arcade No, Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan, to retain the WWE Tag Team Championships. John Cena defeated Ryback 2-1 in 3 stages of Hell match to retain the WWE Championship. In Stage 1, Ryback defeated Cena in a lumberjack match. Stage 2 saw Cena pick up the win in a tables match, and then in the third and final stage, Cena won the ambulance match. June 17th, 1985, we saw the debuts. Of course, there were 2, major debuts in the WWF. First was former NWA World Heavyweight Champion Terry Funk, who made his mark by attacking the ring attendant before making his opponent Aldo Moreno submit. And the other one was the biggest one of them all, Macho Man Randy Savage. And of course, after Savage pinned Moreno, following 2 elbow drops, Bobby Heenan, Mr. Fuji, Freddie Blassie, Jimmy Hart, and Johnny V all got in the ring to congratulate him on his victory and offer their services as a manager. As we all know, Miss Elizabeth was his choice. June 18th, 2005, CM Punk defeated Austin Aries in the main event of Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor 3. And of course, this was known that Punk had already signed a contract with WWE. In the weeks that followed, of course, it was known as the original Summer of Punk, as we all know. June 19th, 1994, that was when Owen Hart won the 1994 King of the Ring, of course, by defeating the likes of Razor Ramon and the 1-2-3 Kid. As far as birthdays, of course, June 15th, Bailey turns 37. Jungle Boy turns 29. Of course, Brett Armstrong would turn 65, and Scott Norton. I hope I'm reading this right. Scott Norton, turns 68, and that actually 65 rather, and that's Week in Wrestling History. Mike Knoxxx, back to you.
Yo, 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 it's crime time.
EST.
Soul Man, Rocky Johnson.
It's the Honky Tonk Man.
NWO.
Can you smell what The Rock is cooking? The Mike Knoxxx Show, that's 3 X's because he's hardcore, present This Week in Wrestling History with King Vaughn.
What the fuck have you ever done in your life? I'm curious. Now, granted, I'm going to sit here and keep it a buck with you. I'm going to keep it a wilt. First of all, congratulations to the New York Knicks for winning the NBA championship. Fuck New York's fans, but that team is kind of lovable. I have to admit that. I've been a New York sports hater my entire life. But hey, as a fan who is short for fanatic, which means I'm kind of crazy, I've always been able to separate my fandom from reality. Reality is that team deserved it. They earned it. The things they've done, I've never seen any other team do before in history. I'm not going to hear about no fixes we're in. No, they just straight won that championship. Congratulations to the New York Knicks for that. As a fan, to say all that, I say, fans, do you even know how to be a fan? Do you know how to be a fan? Now, over this past weekend on Friday Night SmackDown, of course, listen, guys, if y'all don't know by now, I'm a girl dad, okay? I've been raised by, in the words of Tupac, I got my name from a woman, got my game from a woman. Everything I got from a woman. Black girl magic, all day. All day, every fucking day, black girl magic. But on SmackDown, Jade Cargill's wig came off. Now, let me just put a little disclaimer in here as well. Or I'm not sure if that's a disclaimer, but I'm a black man who's never liked hair weave. I don't like wigs. I don't like weaves. I am not a fan of any of it. However, I'm not a woman. And as much pressure as there is out there for a man to dress nice, look good, have the best car, clean look ride for the power of the PU, I see you, women have the same pressure. Okay? And they're easier than us. A man has to get a haircut. A man shouldn't put a wig on. Women, they can do this. Now, my disclaimer that I will get to is that there's not the majority, shall I say, of the women in professional wrestling wear some kind of hair extensions or a wig. Point blank facts. This is not a rumor. This is not a spoiler alert. This is a fact. They all wear weaves. They all wear hair extensions. They all wear wigs. This is a fact. The majority of the women. Bianca Belair's ponytail, when she smacked the shit out of Liv Morgan in that Elimination Chamber, real hair don't leave no whelps. FYI. Okay? Charlotte Flair wears hair extensions. Alexa Bliss wears hair extensions. They all insinuate their hair because there's this thing that big hair or go home. Hair wig comes off in a match. She proceeds to fix the wig, and lo and behold, what does the clear folks call them? The clear color folks call them? Oh, they just want to rip her online to the point where Jade herself says, wow, me versus the wig. So now I'm watching memes and ChatGPT, AI generated Jade Cargill versus her hair. The disrespect. And what gets me, right? I seen a post that was like, just because I made fun of this doesn't make it racist. And what made it racist was the thousands of comments that were directed directly only towards Jade Cargill and a black woman's hair makes it racist. So let's call a spade a spade. I know some of you guys suck at spades, so you don't even know what spades are. But guess what? If I got the ace, the king, the queen, the jack, the 10, the 9, my partner better go fucking nil. At best 2, if they got an ace over there, because I can throw off. Learn how to play the game. And play the game is what you folks don't do. So that's time to play the game. What they said? Well, my name is Mike Knoxxx. Mike Knoxxx. That's spelled with 3 X's. Let's speak why I'm hardcore. Because you punk motherfuckers don't have an idea how to be a fan. And maybe, just maybe I'm off a little bit. Right, Vaughn? I could be wrong. It's possible.
Right, this one.
But can you have the respect of, and listen, if you haven't seen Higher Learning, I suggest you go watch Higher Learning. Say it. Say what? Say, I apologize, mother of the earth, the queen of the universe. Life started in Africa, people. That's where life started, in Africa. All right, I'm on my shit right now, Vaughn. Let's go. I'm on my shit right now. And I got strep throat. Okay? But y'all need to understand something about Mike Knoxxx.
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black. Message.
So when you're out here talking about Jade Cargill, you know you're talking about your mama, right? Yeah, when you're talking about Jade Cargill, we're talking about black women and their hair, you're talking about your mama. Because more than likely your mama's black because she came from Africa. And don't give me that bullshit from Boys in the Hood. My mama ain't from Africa, you African booty scratcher. You dumbass you are. Because that's the first signs of civilization on this planet. Be a fan. I was high school MVP. Remember what's that movie? Fucking God, with Nino Brown, New Jack City. I was high school cream prom queen. So now you prom fiend, right? I was high school 94 Paul Robeson high school MVP. Truth be told, I was co-MVP, and I hate it. My man Wendell to this day, I love him. I love seeing people from the hood that survive. We communicate through social media. I appreciate that. But Wendell, you didn't deserve that MVP. Not that you wasn't good, but I should have won it the year before as well. But that's what I'm hoping on. That's what I'm hyping on, right? This is the same motherfucker say, yo, I'm going to go play softball in the beer league because I was the man and I was in high school at 95. What are you doing now, you fat, out of shape Alabama sweat hog? What are you doing now? Who are you as a fan to speak? First of all, y'all called it a botch. She didn't botch a fucking thing. She got suplexed in her wig. It was a a wardrobe malfunctioning. That's what happened. Excuse me. That's what happened. It was not a botch. So get your facts straight. Okay? And then that's the only thing you can say. Y'all hate her so much. Why? Because she's beautiful? Because she got money? Because she's in a position that she didn't have to do the things that other wrestler women had to do? All this sounds of jealousy to me. Signs of jealousy to me. Because Charlotte Flair, so brother say, Mike out here being racist. How many times have I said what I think of Charlotte Flair?
Charlotte Flair is the greatest women's wrestler of all time.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
So don't say, oh, Mike's racist and Mike's doing this and Mike's doing that. No, Mike is telling you the actual factuals here. Maybe you can sit down and listen and shut the fuck up. You can understand what I'm saying. Wrestling fans, and maybe not all of you, but you know who I'm talking about. And I hate the term the IWC for what it's worth, right? Internet wrestling community, because I'm a part of the internet wrestling community. But there's levels to this shit. Right? Because I'm on the internet and I speak wrestling, I'm automatically part of the community. Some people say, well, I'm not part of the IWC. You are, but I understand what you're trying to say. For you guys to follow these women, follow these wrestlers to these hotels, for you women, for you men to stalk them at airports. Rhea really has had to speak plenty of times about the lack of attention or too much of attention she gets when she's just going through an airport. Go back to the video that surfaced about Randy Orton going through Vegas when his match was over. Go back to the Saturday Night Main Event when Gunther lost and y'all threw batteries at him. Hell, fast forward to Wemby losing a game and y'all throwing eggs at him. Unlike Wemby, who is a real sport, wrestling is predetermined, which means a promoter says yes or they say no. That's what the promoter does. So you can't be mad at a promoter for pushing, or the wrestler, shall I say, not the promoter. You can be mad at the promoter. Fuck you, promoters who promote badly. But when you are cheering and booing against someone who doesn't need that, right? Like, you're mad at the wrong person. Your anger is at the wrong person. Y'all talk about, oh, they botched, or like even when watching Friday Night SmackDown and Ray Phoenix going to go to the top rope against Axiom and he kind of stumbled, right? It's not a botch. He made a mistake. The things they're doing live in front of a studio audience, let's just call it a buck. They're in a stadium and there's an audience. So live in front of a studio audience, there's no time to practice. Their ropes can be slippery. It can be hot. Anything can happen. I'm not, and nor have I ever made fun of so-called botches in wrestling. I can't dunk a basketball anymore. So who am I to say, oh, that boy's a bum? I try very, very careful when I speak wrestling, when I speak sports, to be very careful on what I'm saying about the athlete, right? I go back to the NBA Finals again to keep it in the sports realm. I thought the Aaron Fox should have been taken out of the game because if you know anything about Chuck Knobloch from the he used to play with the Minnesota Twins, got traded and was a World Series champion with the Yankees, and then just completely fell apart and couldn't throw the ball from second base to first base. Make it a little bit more if you don't know about baseball and basketball. We call it Nick Anderson. Nick Anderson. I think he is completely done. He was cooked. I don't think he made 7 points in that game, and he missed how many shots? He doesn't have it anymore. He mentally, the Aaron Fox is gone, in my opinion. People call botches, but they can't even do push-ups. you know, and I agree with you on that. Right? You want to sit in the back of your mama's basement and Cartman that shit all day. To do what? You jerk off to these motherfuckers. It's real to me, damn it, to these motherfuckers, right? You spend thousands of dollars to get a picture and you get mad if they don't want to put your arm around because y'all are creepy. Y'all are creepy. I've never interviewed a wrestler who I didn't become good acquaintances with. I won't say friends, right? But I didn't become good acquaintances with. You know why they fuck with Mike Knoxxx? Because when Mike Knoxxx is interviewing them, Mike Knoxxx doesn't come off like a fucking mark. And I'm a mark. Shout out to the wrestling marks of excellence. I always say that when I say that word, right? Shout out to Nephew Corey, Dr. D in the firm, Champ Creek, congratulations for your New York Knicks winning the championship, and the Godfather, doing your things. I love you guys, right? I am a wrestling mark, but I don't act like a mark. I buy my mark because I buy the gear, I buy the shirts. I have a fucking Eufaula, and I'm not fucking of Samoan heritage. I got belts on my wall behind me. I'm a mark, but I don't act like one in the sense of someone's not going to enjoy me being a wrestling fan. Fans, you got to get off this high horse of you being bigger and you have the right to get a like. Again, I'm sorry that your mama didn't like you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you grew up with no friends. You know, I can always say this in fairness. I was never the most popular kid in school, but I ran with the most popular kids in school. You know, I don't know what it means to be picked last. I'm 6'3.5". I don't know what it means to not have friends and have girls. I'm a handsome motherfucker. But I got friends that ugly in today's world. The ugliest people I know be getting ass. So what's the problem? Y'all letting social media make you into what you really are not. And what social media has made you is even worse of a person than you think you are. To sit there and to dog this woman for 3 days because her malfunctioning of her outfit came off, it's just the utter line disrespectful. I bet you those haters wouldn't say those things to their faces. Absolutely they wouldn't. They stay online, and you know they call them internet gangsters. That's what they are. They stay behind a pen, and they think they're cool behind an Xbox, behind a PlayStation, behind a keyboard. But in person, you're a little bitch. So Jay may not say it to you because she has to play the upper hand, which she doesn't. She's an unapologetically black woman, and I love her for that. But I'm going to say it. Y'all a bunch of bitches. Hey, Jade, I got your back, girl. Black girl magic all day, okay? Fuck them, okay? Fuck them. It happens. It happens to everybody. I've seen coochies pop out. I've seen titties pop out, and they didn't make more fun of them than they did to this.
Charlotte had one at WrestleMania.
Tits pop right out at WrestleMania. Coochie showing right at WrestleMania. This is what they do. Listen, I was here, tired. Y'all can see I'm sweating. I do have strep throat, and this is hurting me a little bit, so I'm going to get up out of here. I wanted to be here because I wasn't here last week because of the strep throat. Please go and check out the episode we had a few weeks back with me and Spot Face that came out here. Roman Reigns, a top 10 wrestler of all time. And again, that speaks to wrestling fans about that as well. Okay? And I get it, wrestling fans. I'm going to play this slide real fast before I go, Vaughn, because in case they missed that show, I know I played this slide on the show if I still have it here. I don't think I still have it here. No, I don't have it. But it was that slide about being a wrestling fan. You learn how to be a fan from a very, very early age. How to be a fan, and sometimes it's hard for you guys to disconnect your adolescent love from what is reality. Reality is these girls, these guys, they go out here and they bust their asses for our entertainment. And who are we to question them? You know, I say it all the time. You don't do the same thing when I watch a Marvel movie. I love Masters of the Universe. I wasn't a big fan of the sorceress's costume because it looked like it was a robe. It didn't look. I thought that her costume could have been more CGI. That didn't ruin the movie. So how does her getting suplex off of a multi-women pile-up suplex off the top rope, from the top rope to the mat, the impact of the mat hitting the mat makes her wig come off? How does that impact the match? What did that have to do with the outcome of the match? Absolutely nothing. But y'all took an opportunity to say she was a botch, continuously botching. It's her problem. She can't. Y'all do anything y'all can to tear this black woman down. But y'all can't. She's rich, she's married, and she's beautiful. Listen, so do me a favor before you guys do what y'all do every single time, thinking you're better than Mike Knoxxx. Just do me a favor and wake the fuck up.
Stop it. Get some help.
Because if you think you're better than me, that's the problem.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. There's no wonder you get D's and everything.
And this show was dedicated to the BGM because when they asked me these questions.
Who are you rooting for tonight?
I'm rooting for everybody black. I am.
Because at the end of the day.
Because I love me. I can't stand myself.
So please understand.
Message.
And don't wake up tomorrow morning saying to yourself, I love me some me. I just told you I love me some me. And don't love God. That's crazy, y'all, because we do. So we out of here, y'all. Fingers.
Bite my tongue for no one. I put you on blast. So all the news channels, y'all can kiss my ass.